Hey guys, it's Sugar here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to get both the Wex or the WexPoly token from Wault Finance. These are two newer tokens out there that are ways that you can either stake or farm in a either regular liquidity mining or leverage liquidity mining pool. This is more of an advanced crypto play out there. Think of it as the next possible version of PancakeSwap. You can see the price of the regular Wex token, which is the older of the two tokens. It's basically Wault's Binance Smart Chain token, is sitting around 3 cents. It peaked around 40 cents not too long ago. And then over on their Wault WexPoly, the POLYGON MATIC smart chain version of their token, that's trading right now at just over 3 cents as well. The WexPoly token just launched about a week ago, so it's very new. We got in around 2.7 cents. Most of us sold on the initial spike around 7 cents to 8 cents, but we're still holding a good amount. This is more of an advanced token to get, so there is some basic setup required. You will need a trust wallet and Metamask. You will need to know how and already have them merged together, connected together. And I'll explain why going forward. But if you don't know how to do this or don't feel comfortable doing this, then I'm sorry, this video is not for you. Not to be rude, but there's multiple steps that is involved in this that you could lose all your assets in swaps or transfers. Last night I filmed a walkthrough on how to do this, and unfortunately my computer died literally right as we finished and I lost all the footage, but it took us 3 hours to get through, and I wasn't looking forward to editing that, so I'm kind of glad that I can just do a quick walkthrough. I'm not going to actually purchase anything today because I just did some yesterday. So this will just be a walkthrough, and I'll just show you guys the steps on how to get both of them. We'll start with the regular Wex token. This is the easier of the two to get. It's the little bit lower risk. It's been out there a little bit longer. Most of the people that I know that are in this, they are staking their Wex on this Wex farm. It's basically a form of staking that doesn't require any lockup period. You can essentially claim your rewards daily and restake them or on however long you want. But you can see right now it's got a total APR of 133%, which equates to about 0.36% daily. Now on the WexPoly, a little bit higher risk, a little bit more reward. This is the newer one that just came out and takes a little bit more steps, a little harder to get. But you can see we're sitting at a 265% APR, which equates to 0.72% every day, about 5% a week on your investment. So in order to get this, the first thing that you're going to want to do to set up is basically have your trust wallet. With the Wault, all you basically need is either have Binance Smart Chain in your trust wallet or transfer it to your Metamask. You should already have your Metamask downloaded on your Chrome browser or Brave if you're using it and connected. And for the Wault Finance, you're going to want to have the Binance Smart Chain network added to your network list. I can show you guys real quick the settings for that, and you can just pause the video and copy this over, but you're going to want to make sure that everything in here is word for word, especially the RPC URL. And you're also going to want to make sure that you go to CoinMarketCap and enable viewing the BNB, the USDC, and your Wex. You can do that by just simply going to coinmarketcap.com, and for the Wex token we will just type in Wex and simply hit this add to MetaMask Fox button right here, and that will add your contract. Now you're going to do the same thing for USDC. And you're actually going to hit more, and you're going to want this on BNB Smart Chain. Figure while we're here, this is the USDC, and the next one that we're going to do, MATIC, is only for if you're doing the WexPoly. But while we're here, I'll just knock it out because it only takes a couple seconds. But you're going to want to make sure that your BNB Smart Chain and Ethereum are added. And then finally, we're going to go to WexPoly isn't on CoinMarketCap, so you're going to have to go to CoinGecko.com and type in WexPoly, and here's our MetaMask. Notice this right here is the MATIC mainnet, as opposed to before we were on either Ethereum or BNB Smart Chain. And that's like what we added right here. We had to add in the Smart Chain network. Ethereum should be your base network if you're having a fresh MetaMask. And then MATIC is the final network we're going to have to add if you are looking to get the WexPoly, not the Wex. But while we're doing the setup stuff, I figured might as well get this done. But this is what you're going to want for the WexPoly, and this just ends in a normal .com with a slash and your regular HTTPS:// in the beginning. Make sure everything is perfectly typed on here, case sensitive, and this is very important, especially your RPC URL. Once you have that set up, if you're looking to just get the Wault, the Wex coin, you're going to go to app.wault.finance, and it should just bring up like this regular overview page, and we're going to go down to swap. Your wallet may auto connect. If it doesn't, go ahead and connect wallet, and you're going to want to hit browser injected, which is your MetaMask. Now your MetaMask should have a balance of BNB Smart Chain in it previously. If you don't know how to put or transfer BNB to your MetaMask, if it's linked to your trust, you can very easily transfer it off of wherever you have it on, your either Binance or Crypto.com, and you can transfer BNB over to Trust Wallet. Again, if you don't know how to do that, there's a lot of videos online showing how, but because this is more of an advanced thing, I'm not going to go over how to do a simple transfer. But basically, you're going to take your BNB and you can put whatever amount you want in, leave a small amount left over for fees, and we're going to swap over to Wex. You can see I've got a small current balance already, and then just a little bit of BNB left over from yesterday's trading stuff. And then you're going to hit swap. Once you do that, you can hit confirm swap, and I don't even know if this is going to go through with the gas fees. It looks like it won't, it'll fail, so I'm going to reject my transaction. But all you're going to do is in your MetaMask hit approve. Give it a couple seconds. It usually takes about 1 to 2 minutes, but once it is completed, you should be able to view the BSC scan of the transaction to confirm it. Make sure you're on the Smart Chain on your MetaMask, and you can go to Assets, and you should see your Wex balance in there. From there, you can go to Farm, and this is where you go to actually stake it. You don't have to do this part. This is if you want to get some passive income on top of it. You can just play the swings of the price action and swap back to BNB when you're happy with the price gain. But if you're looking to get some passive income, that 133% APR, you can go ahead and hit connect wallet and browser injected. This sometimes is laggy and has some issues, but you can see there it did take a second. I don't have much Wex in here. I did this for a demonstration buy yesterday, but basically it'll show how much you have staked, how much you've earned. This is the Wex that I've earned basically since then, just about a cent. I can go ahead and claim this. Now keep in mind, technically if you are in the US, this is considered a taxable event every time you hit claim. If you don't have enough BNB in your account, this won't go through. So I don't know if it's going to go through or not, because I'll be honest, when I hit approve contract, I didn't look. So we will have to wait a second here for this to reload. But once you claim it, basically it'll show your Wex balance over here. So as you can see there, it did go through. So I was able to claim my current rewards that I generated from yesterday. If you don't have any current rewards, what you can do is just put in whatever your Wex balance is, and of course leave a little bit over for fees, and just go ahead and hit stake. When you do that, it'll take a second. Sometimes you may have to refresh it, but it should show that into your Wex staked balance. One other way too, if the Wault Finance is giving you issues, which sometimes it does with these newer chains. Like I said, this is a very new platform. WexPoly's got like a 800 million market cap, I think. So it's very new. Or if you have issues like this where it just does 0 zeros, try reconnecting your wallet, browser injected. You can see that staking that we did go through, because our 6 went over, and we now have our Wex staked. So that's how to get the easy token. It's literally as simple as just converting some BNB over to Wex. That one I feel comfortable with some novices trying out. If this is your first time with DeFi, by all means give it a shot. It's kind of hard to mess up. Always make sure that when you're doing transfers, for instance, between Binance and Trust or Binance and Metamask, that you do a small test transaction first to make sure that your addresses are correct. And of course, always double and triple check that your addresses are correct, because if you do send to the wrong address, you will lose your funds and you can't get it back. So always make sure your addresses are correct, and always make sure that you have enough to cover the fees, because these are all smart contract based. So if your contract is rejected, i.e. you don't have enough fees to cover it, you're trying to max out something, it will not go through. So your balance will still be there. It's not like you're going to lose your balance out of it, but it will eat the amount of fees for that contract. So although the fees are very small, because this is Binance and the MATIC mainnets compared to Ethereum, it is just something to be aware of. It is usually about 0.01 to 0.0001 BNB. So currently that's like, I think like 30 cents to $3 ish every single time, depending on your balance, of course. But that's just from what I've seen. But now let's go ahead and take a look at, if you want to check out and get the WexPoly, which is what I'm really bullish on. From all the people that I follow, that I get a lot of my tips from, this is one that they're expecting the 50x. Day one we went 4x on a lot of it, and it's come down a lot in price, but we are still up pretty good in profits on this. Like I said, we got in around 2.7. It's sitting at 3.1 right now cents. And this is only a week old, so it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. But what you're going to want to do is, obviously we've already got our Trust and Metamask merged. We've got our BNB Smart Chain and our MATIC mainnet networks added to our Metamask, and we've enabled viewing of all of our coins that we're going to need. I'm going to switch over to the MATIC mainnet here and go over to assets. You can see we're going to need some MATIC, we're going to need some USDC and the WexPoly. I want to point out though, these aren't the normal MATIC and USDC that you would see on like Coinbase or a normal exchange. This is actually BEP20 USDC, and this is MATIC's network MATIC. You can't just use regular USDC, transfer it off of Coinbase, and expect it to work on the Wault Finance platform. It needs to be that BEP20 version of the USDC, which is going to take a couple swaps to get to there, but it's not a big deal. And same goes with that MATIC. And the MATIC we can actually get on Wault Finance, so that's easy. And thankfully, that's something that we had a lot of hard steps on the day one to get, because there was no liquidity for that MATIC on Wault, so we had to do some other different steps that thankfully I don't have to walk you guys through. But what we're going to want to do is the initial starting procedure starts the same. You're going to want to start with Binance coin in your trust or Metamask and swap that over to BNB Smart Chain. From there, we're going to go to the exchange.PancakeSwap.finance. And PancakeSwap is a very popular exchange out there. It's basically what Wault is trying to get away from and replace. And what you're going to do is you're going to swap your BNB over to USDC, and you're going to have to search it. It's probably going to be on the inactive token list, and so you're probably going to have to improve and import it if you haven't already played around with USDC on the BEP20 chain. It'll just pop up a little window that says approve. Click that and swap your BNB over to USDC. Obviously, beforehand, you're going to want to connect your wallet and unlock it to do your swap. And this is going to be done on Metamask. Once you have your USDC sitting in the Metamask wallet, it's going to be on the Smart Chain mainnet. So it should show right there. You can see I've got a tiny little bit of BNB and a tiny little bit of USDC. We're always going to want to keep a little bit left over for fees, but we have our USDC BEP20 on the Smart Chain mainnet. What we can do now, sorry, I'm looking over my notes, is we have to bridge that USDC from the BEP20 to the MATIC mainnet, and that is done on EvoDefi.com. What you're going to do is go ahead and connect your wallet, and you're going to go over, hit the three lines at the top, and hit bridge. It's going to give you three options. You're going to want token bridge. Now it should populate the top version here. It should show you BSC to Polygon. That's basically what we're trying to do. We're taking our BSC BEP20 USDC and we're putting it over to the MATIC network. And our token, we want to switch from Gen X, get that out of there, and use ETH. What you're going to do then is basically bridge it all over, leave a little bit left over for your BSC fees. It should be less than 1, or 0.1, sorry. You don't need to leave much fees here for that. And what that'll do after that step is basically, well, I wanted to connect anyways. Basically what that'll do is that'll give us USDC over on the MATIC mainnet. Now, if you forgot to enable this beforehand, you're going to want to make sure that you go to CoinMarketCap and enable the Polygon chain USDC under the add token. I might be able to even pull it up for you. No, I can't. Anyways, so once you have the USDC in your MATIC mainnet wallet on MetaMask, we can go over to finally the Wault.finance/Polygon /#farm, or just the overview site. It doesn't really matter, but you want to make sure that you are on the Polygon, not BSC version of Wault, like we used earlier for the regular Wex token. What we can do is browser inject our MetaMask over and give it a second. I found that the Wex Polygon network one takes a little bit longer to load, and I think that's just because it's newer and they got a little bit more kinks to figure out. But we'll go over to swap, and it looks like it loaded. We can see it's going to default to MATIC right here, and yours should show 0. what we have to do in order to get the WexPoly, you may even have a little bit of MATIC, maybe 0.1. I believe the bridge gives you a tiny bit for fees, but we want to swap over the MATIC, or sorry, the USDC to MATIC, because we're going to need more than 0.1 MATIC in the future for when we go to do some swaps and when you actually claim your rewards and stake stuff. So MATIC's trading at like $1.50, I think, right now. 2 or 3 MATIC will last you like 50 transactions, I would say, or 50 claims and restakes. So it's not like it's going to take you much. Just take like $4 or $5 worth of USDC and swap that on over to MATIC. Once you do that, you're going to want to accept it, and obviously it'll bring up your MetaMask contract stuff. Approve that. This generally takes up to 5 minutes, I've found, to go through. On launch day, when we were trying to do this and it was incredibly flooded, well, one, it ran out of liquidity, so we couldn't, and the other site that we were using to get it took us about 2 hours for the swap to finally actually transaction to go through. So this stage, it's okay if you see your funds disappear for a quick second. If you go and check like your MetaMask and your USDC is missing, that's okay. The smart contract is doing its thing. Just give it a couple seconds and refresh. You will have a polyscan address that you can view if the transaction goes through. Oftentimes, this stage is glitchy. We had some issues yesterday when we were trying to do this with it just rejecting transactions. So, but once you have the MATIC, then what we can do is switch this back to MATIC up at the top, and we're going to go down to find WexPoly. And you can swap your MATIC over, or sorry, your USDC over to WexPoly. So all of that USDC that we bridged over from our initial BNB Smart Chain swap, remember we went from Binance or crypto.com, wherever you source your Binance coin, then we went to PancakeSwap and we converted that to USDC. But that USDC was on the BEP20 network, so we had to bridge that over with the EvoDefi to the MATIC network. We had to give a little bit of that USDC over to MATIC so that we could have some fees in the future. And now we have a bunch of USDC in our account ready to switch to WexPoly. Go ahead and perform that swap in the same fashion. And once that is done, we can go over to the WexPoly farm. Now again, this is the same thing. You can do the arbitrage or swing trading on it like we did when we got in at launch. It actually launched at like 3.5 cents, but we got really lucky in the delay due to the lack of liquidity. It kept us out while the price was crashing or initially dropping. And that's because a lot of the people that actually we knew they got into this, they got the initial airdrop for WexPoly. If you staked Wex for long enough, you got some WexPoly. Unfortunately, I missed that boat, but I really believed in the WexPoly for the future, so I didn't mind that, in expected ICOs, you're going to have an initial price drop. But that's how we got lucky and scored that 2.7 cent buy-in. So you could play the arbitrage like we did and sell around like the 7-8 cent. It took it like 6 hours to get to that point. But what I'm doing now, because obviously that liquidity and volatility is not nearly as insane, is I'm just farming. So you're going to want to connect your wallet if it hasn't already connected. You can see I've got 0 WexPoly balance. Yours will be different. Obviously, you just swap some WexPoly. What you want to do is just enter all that in and hit stake. You can hit max on this. You don't have to worry about saving some WexPoly for fees because our fees are paid in MATIC, which is why we had to convert a couple dollars worth of MATIC with that initial USDC. And it's better just to get that out of the way first so that you have a better judgment of how much you can spend on that WexPoly swap. So you can just enter your amount, hit max, stake it, and you'll be good to go. Then obviously it'll show your WexPoly staked. I've got just under 20,000. Actually, we might be able to make that 20,000. Let's see here. I'm going to show you guys how to claim your rewards. Go ahead and hit confirm. Give it a second. This one takes a little bit longer than Wex, like I said. And just with some quick mental math, that might be... No, I don't think it's going to be enough, but it might be close. Alright, there it goes. So we have our WexPoly balance. And I can hit max and stake. And as you can see here, this is taking a fee of 0.003951 MATIC. So it doesn't take much. And we'll give this another second here. But that's basically how you guys get the WexPoly and the Wex tokens. 40 away. Okay, well, tomorrow I'll have 20,000, or probably in a couple hours. But it's a good way to get some passive income. If you guys want to see like a good way to keep track of how much you're gaining and stuff, you can go to 8board.finance. This basically just takes your Metamask Smart Chain address and your MATIC addresses. You enter it in, and it's going to show everything here. It will take a couple seconds. The account balance will slowly generally go up. As you can see, I haven't put a lot into this. This is one that I would say, if you don't have the money to risk it, don't. It's very volatile. It's a very, very low market cap coin. Honestly, it could go very low from here, but it could very well go 50x. You can see right here, I'm generating about $3 a day in just passive income off of it. And as WexPoly obviously goes up and down, that's going to change as well. I should mention that as the price changes, the APY will change. When we started out and the price was low, the APY was like 2,000% APY, and you guys saw it was down to like the 260%. So as price goes up, APY goes down, and the inverse is also true. But this can all be seen here. So you can see your daily and yearly APR, how much rewards you're getting, the value on everything. Now notice that in your wallet, it's not going to show your WexPoly or Wex like full balances. That's because when it's staked, you technically don't own it. It's an IOU, and that's kind of the risk reward with these crazy APRs. So something to keep in mind. Obviously, it's not on a cold storage wallet. You don't own it, not your keys, not your coin. But 8 Finance is a cool little way to view it all. But yeah, that is just the overview on how to get Wex and Wault. Hope this helped. If you guys have any questions, feel free to DM me or just always tag me, comment me. I'm always available and always down to help. Take it easy, guys.